Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Agent Wealth Network. This is the place. You know what happens. This is where your business is going to grow, your wealth is going to grow. And recently, we've really been into some specific areas in real estate on how to increase your business. And we had some amazing lead programs on how to be able to do that. In fact, we had lead guests last week tripled their sales. And so some really, really good things. But this week, we have a very special guest, and his name is Sunil Tulsiani, and he is what he calls himself the wealthy cop. And so we'll get into that and why that is. But he basically has made real estate investing, and he became wealthy in doing so. And you can see in the background all of his books. He's written 7 different books that he's written about wealth, and he has literally investors flocking to him. And so instead of you having to flock to him, you can just watch his podcast and get all this amazing knowledge. And then he has twin vehicles that he does this through his private investment club and through Tulsiani Investments. And so it is my pleasure to welcome Sunil. Hello and welcome to the show.
Dr. Hank, thank you very much for that wonderful introduction. I appreciate it.
You bet. You bet. Well, I got to tell you that first of all, that my son, when he was growing up, he just loved cop shows, and then he joined Police Explorers, and Police Explorers is in every major city in the United States, where from 13 to 21 years old, you learn how to become a police officer. And quite frankly, I was a little scared about that because I didn't want my kid to be shot or whatever. But I mean, he was in oil slicks. They did all the things. In fact, I used to, when I would date women, I would say, "You're looking at a guy that has been handcuffed more than any other person in America." And they'd be looking at me like, I got to get out of here. And it's just my son was practicing on me.
Of course.
Which way? So please tell us on from how did you become a Canadian policeman, and then from there, how you created your wealth in real estate.
Thank you very much. I was originally born and came to Canada in 1981. And I lived in an area that was quite challenging, let's call it, an area that, are lots of, the area that I grew up, let's start again. So I came to Canada in 1981, originally born in India. Okay. And when we came to Canada, we settled in an area that was quite challenging. We had, poverty, gangs, and not the best location to be growing up. So at the age of 15, I decided that I wanted to be a police officer, and that's all I did. And in 1990, I became a uniformed police officer, and then I became a police detective, and from there I became a police negotiator. And at the end, I became the platoon commander. And during this time, I got married, and I have 2 children. We had 2 children, and almost 14 years into our marriage, my wife comes to me and says, "We're going to have a divorce. We're going to have a divorce because you don't spend time with us." And what was happening was we started to fight a lot. We were fighting a lot.
Yeah.
And so I thought she was crazy. She thought I was crazy, and he fought and fought and fought.
And if I could say something about that. So many of us trade our time for money. And so thus we have lots of time and very little money. And so what I love about this is you were in that situation and you said, I need an answer. And you asked for an answer, and apparently you got one.
Yeah. and well, for me, actually, the main issue was I wanted to save my marriage and my kids. I love my family. I used to tell everybody my family is important, but I never acted, I suppose, all the time as if they were, because when the police call came and I had promised my family something and the call came, I would just run out of the door. Which is normal for me. Anyway, long story short, I started looking, and I went to every business show, franchise show, vending machine show, coffee show, anywhere, personal growth, Tony Robbins, T. Harv Ekers, and all these
Awesome.
gurus, right?
Yeah.
Go to those. What I realized is that I didn't know what to do. I just could not quit my job financially. I needed money to survive.
Sure.
So one day I opened up this newspaper in Toronto, Canada, and there's this guy, Fred Page says, buy properties, nothing down.
Mm.
And I looked at the newspaper and I threw it away. I said, what a scam that is. It's a crazy nothing down. How can you buy properties, nothing down? This is a crazy idea. And the guy's name was Robert G. Allen. And I didn't know who he was at that time. And for something brought me back to the newspaper again, and I went back to that same page. And I went to that 2-day event, and I invested $5,000
Wow.
in boot camp. And that $5,000 boot camp changed my life completely.
Wow, that's great.
So, you introduced me as the wealthy cop. Actually, I wish I could take the title. I wish I could take the say that I came up with that.
The credit for it.
It was actually the media.
Uh-huh.
The media called me the wealthy cop afterwards because the first year I bought and sold 77 properties in Canada. And that made me almost instant millionaire. And when media used to call me to interview me in the beginning, because I was a shy guy, I didn't want to tell anybody my secrets and all that kind of. I used to hang up on them. I didn't want to talk to them. Then I hired a mentor who basically said, look, if you want to grow, you got to start talking to these media guys and all that kind of stuff. So I went on television, national television, Profile of Success magazine. So I went all over as far as the media was concerned. And then one day somebody comes to me and says, hey, you've done all these kind of things. Maybe you should teach. I said, teach what? Who? What? They said, we should open up a club. I said, what is a club? They said, well, in the United States, for example, there's RIA clubs. In Canada, most of them are called just club. So I said, well, who's going to teach them? They said, you. I said, you crazy? Am I going to teach somebody?
That reminds me of as I was at Procter & Gamble, and for 15 years, and they were grooming me half the time, and I managed a billion-dollar business. And when I decided to start my own consulting company then, because I had some answers to really help Procter & Gamble first build their business, but then, and I kind of thought like there wasn't even life after Procter & Gamble, and that I didn't realize how much knowledge I had acquired about business. And I think the same thing happened with you then, that you didn't realize that you were the man now.
Well, the thing was, if somebody had asked me in those days to get up on the stage for 30 seconds, I would melt. I would be like, I can't do this. This is crazy. Somebody else should be teaching, not me. But long story short, I ended up accidentally going on a stage, speaking, doing really well. And I found that I was training without notes, without script, without any sort of a PowerPoint. And people just got up and said, wow, you're amazing, and blah, blah, blah. And that's when I felt that I found my passion. And
Great.
I founded the Private Investment Club. It's privateinvestmentclub.com. And it has become the largest elite real estate club in North America. Because to join our club is $5,000 annually, which is the most expensive club in Canada and the U.S. But the reason I did that is because we wanted to have elite networking opportunities and people who had good deals. They can come in and find investors, and people who had money can come in and find deals, network, build those relationships.
Wow, that's fantastic.
So that worked out really well. And so Robert Allen and I, Robert Allen tells me that I'm probably out of millions of people that he has trained, I'm probably the top, let's call it, student of all time around the world, because he doesn't know anybody who was able to do that. But the issue was I was trying to get hold of Robert Allen all my life, and I couldn't. And about 4 or 5 years ago, I was able to meet Robert Allen. I was able to go to his home. I was able to bring him to my trainings, and he spoke on my stages and things like that. So since then, we have done high-end mentoring with the other students together. We've done mastermind together. So together, him and I do mastermind for real estate investors. And I've done a lot of business with him and all that kind of stuff. And the amazing part is I'm bringing him for the first time ever to Dallas, right? I'm bringing him to Dallas.
Well, that's where I live. And so we have a lot of agents and brokers that are watching this, and that's exciting. And so let's see, first of all, when are you coming to Dallas, if you'd share with everybody?
So I'm actually coming to Dallas this weekend, which is a week before the 22nd, 23rd, which is when the actual Robert Allen event is. So Robert Allen event is in Dallas on September 23rd, which is a Saturday, and September 24th. And of course, you and I talked about it just before the recording. You're coming, so that's awesome.
Yeah, you bet. You bet.
You know, like I said, I paid $5,000, and the truth is, when I paid $5,000, Robert Allen did not even show up. It was his trainers who showed up.
Wow.
So what I said to Robert is that you changed my life, and I've been able to help lots of people myself. Yeah. And now I want your legacy to come back, and we want to help a lot of people become wealthy.
Wow.
And our slogan at Private Investment Club is we're going to make 100 millionaires. We have already made 13 millionaires. We have 87 to go. So I'm looking at some of the listeners, and we're looking for investors, wholesalers, people who are looking for passive income, mortgage brokers, real estate agents, brokers to come in. Because the reason why real estate agents and mortgage brokers need to be there is that this is where their clients are, potential clients are. In fact, I'm bringing millionaires and multimillionaires internationally from all over the world, including the United States, into the room. So it'd be a great networking opportunity for somebody who wants to do assignments, flips, joint ventures. They're looking for cash buyers. It'd be an amazing place for them to be there for this.
Oh my God, that's just fabulous. So we'll have. Where can you actually sign up or to learn more about that? Because I'm one for helping everybody to actually write down right now this when it's hot information. So can you tell us where we can go to find out the specifics on that and how much it costs?
Sounds good. So first of all, I'm going to give you two. First link, but please don't go to that link. Just go to that link to read about it, but don't buy the ticket. I'll tell you shortly.
Okay.
So the link is Robert Allen Dallas. RobertAllenDallas.com. You go to that link, and and you'll see that you can buy the ticket, and then you see who's coming. There's a couple of more people. I have a couple of local people as well that are going to be there, but it's going to be mainly throughout both days. It's going to be Robert Allen. And he's got it's a nothing down Robert Allen event. It does not mean that if you have money, don't come. It just means that if you have no money, you have some money, and you have lots of money, it's great for everybody. Because Robert Allen's going to talk about his system, about how to find great deals in 2018, 2019. How do you fund those deals? How did Robert Allen sell over $1 billion worth of stuff? I mean, this is a program that he's the original guru for real estate since the late 70s, who coined the idea of nothing down. He wrote the most famous book, Nothing Down, in the 80s, New York #1 best-selling book, and he became really famous for that. And I am actually bringing him personally to Dallas because I like Dallas. I've been to Dallas many times. I personally am looking to invest in Dallas area. So I'm also looking for people who have access to good deals. So whether you're an agent, wholesaler, or assignment, we're looking for people. I'm going to bring some of my wealthy members to that as well. Millionaires, multimillionaires, being able to, do joint ventures with people.
That's awesome. And is Allen spelled Allan?
It's Allen.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure. So again, that would be RobertAllenDallas.com. But you said that that's where you have to pay for your ticket. but do you have another place for us to go where we can
Yes.
get in for less?
Yes. Well, Dr. Hank, you're doing this with us, and I respect the fact that you're doing this for us and all that stuff. So, for the general ticket, we'll put a link on your podcast
Okay.
somewhere,
Okay.
where people can go in and they can actually get up to 2 tickets per household, 2 tickets per household for absolutely no cost.
Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. Fantastic. Well, we love free, and and of course, though, that we love more on getting a return on investment and building
Absolutely.
your wealth. And this is how to
Absolutely.
build your wealth. And so that is definitely something that all of us want to do. So, can you give us a couple of because mainly, we're real estate agents and real estate brokers that, can you give us some tips right now on what kind of tips do you have, without letting it all go? I know you're going to have it in Dallas, but what could you share with us that you think could really be helpful right now in order to build wealth or to do investments? Or do you have anything that you'd like to share with us about that, Sunil?
Yes, I would. I would say that whether you're an investor or real estate agent or mortgage broker or brokers, the main thing is to get yourself so you're standing apart from the rest of the real estate agents. And in your case, main thing you're looking for are 2 things: people who can either list their properties with you, or people who are investors who will come to you and say, hey, we want to buy properties through you. And that's really the main thing. And the third thing is maybe you want to buy properties yourself, because one of the things I would highly recommend real estate agents do is not only do they help others, but I would say to you that you should buy properties yourself as well, because as the owners of the properties, eventually you're going to become wealthy. Whereas as an agent, you get your commission, which pays for your bills and things like that. But it would be nice for you to actually, let's say you sold 10 properties, maybe then buy one for yourself, or 20 properties, buy one for yourself, because that acquisition of cash flowing properties is the most important part. So my suggestion is very simple. One is that you only buy properties below market value that produce cash flow. The most important part is to be able to say to yourself, what is the cap rate of this property, whether it's a single family, whether it's 10 units or 100 units. Because right now, we normally look at cap rates for multi-units, but I look at cap rates for single families, condo, town, doesn't matter what it is. What's the cap rate at the end of the day? Which is basically, cap rate is something that you just don't take the financing into account. If you're buying a $100,000 property and you're making $10,000 a year return, that's a 10% cap rate. That's basically how you calculate that. That's one. The second thing they need to do is that they need to build their brand. Now, see, most real estate agents have the same way of doing things, such as, for example, they'll say something like, I'll do a free evaluation of your home. They send out flyers, they put ads in newspapers, and it's the same basically marketing materials that we've been doing for decades. And I'm not too sure how many real estate agents and brokers there are in DFW area. Do you know how many there are?
Sure. There's over 20,000.
20,000. So in the Toronto area, there's over 40,000 real estate
I
agents.
I know. I was just in Toronto.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
And what I teach the real estate agents here, and it's just very similar over there, is that because there's so many real estate agents, the regular person has so much choice to go after people, to which agent should I hire? So what if you were to become a brand? What if you were to become a brand? When you become a brand, people follow and come to you rather than you going after people. So my suggestion is very simple. You become the person, like a movie star, like a branded person, where people knock on your door and say, we want to work with you. And you say, well, my fee that I charge to list property is 6%, whereas maybe somebody else can do it for less than that. But they're not going to negotiate with you because you are a brand. They're not going to talk to you. They won't talk to you on the price level.
Right.
Because it becomes their privilege to
Yes.
work with you. And
Yes.
so let me give you some things, some steps that you can do to become
Okay.
a brand, right?
Great.
First of all, your business cards. Every real estate agent, majority of the real estate agents have a business card that has a similar thing, photo, real estate, and the same thing. So how about you have a business card that is completely different,
Okay.
that wows people, and maybe you should not even have a photo on it, because when you have a photo on a business card, I'm trying to see if I can find one for me, or maybe I gave the last one away. But so let me
I
give
saw
you
you bring out your wallet. Everybody was excited about that. Oh my. Yeah.
so I want to share with you. This is a business card that I have. This is a 100% stainless steel business card
Oh,
that all the people that I consult, millionaires and multimillionaires and CEOs,
yeah.
presidents. This is the type of card that I would say to them. As soon as I give this card to somebody, uh,
Ooh,
you know, I have some people who say to me, "Wow, this is too good," and they almost feel non-deserving that this
right.
is good, right?
Right.
So
Exactly.
so pretend there's a person or a client who has $1 million or $10 million or $100 million.
Hmm.
When you do this kind of stuff, give this kind of you stand apart from all the rest of the stuff, you immediately grab their attention. So that's
Yes.
one thing you know. And if
Right.
you're a real estate agent who also does investments, have them two different websites, two different messages, and have a logo and a tagline that is different from
Oh, okay.
your realty company. That's another thing
Yes.
you
Yes.
do. The third thing
Right.
you do is you write a kick-ass report. I see a lot of agents write reports, but write a report that is when it's like a white paper. It's like something that people read and go, "Wow, I learned something amazing from this guy." Okay.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
you reverse engineer your client's needs into the report, and then you,
Uh-huh.
instead of saying "come and buy homes from me," instead
Uh-huh.
of saying something like "list your properties with me and
Mhm.
I'll do free evaluation," what you do is your advertisement everywhere should be about get my report on 10 mistakes real
Yeah.
estate investors make when choosing their agent. 10 mistakes or 7 mistakes homeowners make when they choose their agent. But make sure the report has some value. You dig a
Yeah.
little deeper, read a
Right.
book on Amazon, do your research, read some articles, and then
Sure.
bring your own value content
Yes.
to it. If you
Yeah.
need a writer, hire a good writer with your content. So it still comes from your brain, but it's
Yeah.
written by somebody, so it's easier for the readers to read it. And
Sure.
in that report, spend some money on getting a good cover.
Okay. Got it.
Good cover. Cover is
Yeah.
very, very important.
That's great. That's great.
The
You
next,
know, I love this, Sunil, you just coined some magical phrases. The wealthy cop is one of them. But then the kick-ass report. And so I like that. I like that. And you took us down the steps on how to do that. And is there a way to contact you, like if they want specific steps, or what's the best way to understand this? I know that the absolute best way is to go see you in Dallas on the
yes,
22nd, 23rd.
yes,
And
yes.
is there another way for those that are outside of Dallas that would be able to get more of you?
Yes, absolutely. So one of the things is, privateinvestmentclub.com. That's the
Yep,
website to go to. And the
got it.
second thing is our phone number is 905
Uh-huh.
488 4033. 905
Okay.
488 4033. So the best way to do this is come and meet me in Dallas, because I'd love
Yes,
to spend 2 days with you,
absolutely.
because relationships happen like that. But if you're not able to come, the second best way is to the number I gave you already. Do you have that
Okay.
number already?
We
Yes?
do 905-488-4033
Right, and privateinvestmentclub.com.
at
And
private
like I
invest.
said,
Yeah.
I've been blessed to meet and spend time with Tony Robbins, Oprah. I've shared stages with Jack Canfield, Brian
Wow,
Tracy.
that's
We're
great.
bringing Shark Tank, Kevin Harrington to
Oh
my
yeah.
stage. So if
Wow.
you're looking to attract money,
Yeah.
attract properties, if you're looking to say, okay, what do I do next?
Yeah.
You want to build a multi-million-dollar business. You want to write a best-selling book, for example, to attract clients, whether it's your own book, whether you want to co-author a book with some. In fact, if you want to share big stages, for example, with big legends or anything like that, or simply you just want to buy properties, or you want to attract people with money, so then you can attract them as your client. Go ahead, contact me, and I'll be able to help you. And of course, on LinkedIn, please go on LinkedIn and look me up as Sunil Tulsiani. Just go on LinkedIn, put my name in there, and just send me a request and just say, show, and I'll accept it.
That's fantastic, and I appreciate on how gracious you are here, and you basically are giving away free tickets to everybody that can come to the Dallas event on the 22nd, 23rd of September, and then your own private number. And you know what I love this mindset is about, that is being a mental scientist, and I know whatever you focus your attention on grows. And what I love where you're at, Sunil, is you are deserving. You feel that you deserve, and so just your business card looks at it. The way you're dressed right now. You're just you stand. Your posture, is so good. But then these thoughts about it for all of us to think, and this may not be for everybody, but do you want to be big? Do you want to be on the stage? Do you want to have big investments? Do you want to become a millionaire? I mean, all of these things. Sunil is the one that can deliver that to you and has the answers for you. And so I'm really excited myself to attend your event here this upcoming weekend. And I know it's just going to be a life changer. It's going to be
Absolutely.
A life changer for us. And
Dr. Hank, I want to say this, that I know you said that everybody, the truth is we're going to be in Marriott in Dallas. And so number of tickets, I want to clarify, is number of people is maximum number that you can be able to do is 25. Because
got it.
Yeah, because I know this goes to thousands and thousands of people.
Right.
Please know that after that. So what I've done is my team is going to put a code for you especially for this podcast.
Right.
And basically after the 25th family, it just basically will just be disabled for them.
That's great.
So know that, because I wish I could 1,000 people in there.
Sure. Well, I appreciate that. And what we'll do also is, as long as you're watching this podcast, that I'll know that you're watching it, and we'll actually send you that code. And so know that, but you got to be the first 25 people, as otherwise, you have to pay. But at the same time, know that, to invest in this is to invest in you and to invest in your family and to be able to be your greatest possibility. And as you know, all of you, that's my soul's intention, my heart is to help people become their greatest possibility. And in fact, that, one of the ways also to do this is if we go to dochankwebinar.com, and if you go there, that can help you on this whole path. This is the law of attraction, that this world is you attract it. It's not just inserted. You don't just get stuff inserted in your life. Nothing's by chance. And for you to start thinking about, I love this wealthy road, this prosperous road, that, God is prosperous, that we were meant to be prosperous, but most of us were brought up and told, like money is the root of all evil and a bunch of ridiculous things like that, money just gives us more freedom and more choices. And it's really what our soul's desire is. One of the main things is to have this more freedom. So again, dochankwebinar.com can get you started on that road to then go to Sunil's contact information and see about get to Dallas. And if you don't live in Dallas, go get a ticket, get a plane ticket, do whatever you need to do, because if you want to change your life, if you want to make a difference, that it's inspired action. And I think all of us have been inspired so much by you today, Sunil, to recognize that, hey, if you can do it, in essence, that you're a a boy that was brought up in India and then into Canada and into this terrible environment in Canada. And, it inspired you, first of all, because everything that happens is contrast. Everything that happens bad is actually for good, because like it birthed you into, hey, I want to be a cop. I want to protect the good people, in Canada. And you went from there, worked your way up from there to then you realize, wow, how is there a way for me to not trade that time for my money? And how can I now, instead of being an employee or a business owner, which is even worse because then you're wearing all the caps, to really an entrepreneur where you have plenty of time and plenty of money. And one of the paths is through you and with you, Sunil. So we thank you so much. Would you like to, we just have another minute left, but would you like to leave us with anything else that might be helpful to inspire, uplift us, and get us on that path to abundance, my friend?
The not having money could be root of all evil. That's one. The second is I have coined a phrase called plurking. Plurking. Plerking. Plurking is take the word play, take the word work, and you combine it together. And what I wish for all your audience completely is that for the rest of their life, they plurk for the rest of their life, which means they are playing and making money, just like Michael Jordan would do when he's playing basketball. I want all of you to plurk, and I can tell you, it doesn't matter where you live, who you are. Growing up, shy guys, I was told I was not going to amount to anything, blah, blah, blah. You know what? This is all bullshit. Whatever happened in the past happened. If I can do it, I know you heard this before.
Yeah.
I can do it. No. You can do it. I want you to, start showing up at these events and start believing that you can do it and that you're worthy of doing it. And whether you want to make a $5,000 passive income, $10,000, $20,000 per month, whatever you want to do. Whether you want to make $1 million or $10 million, it doesn't matter. Please take action and show up at the Dallas event. And I paid $5,000 to attend that event. And now you have the opportunity, at least the first 25 people, to come there and actually just check it out. And
that's fabulous.
Let's meet like face to face.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, and so we'll take you to heart on this show up. All of us, let's show up for life, let's show up for the show, let's show up for life, let's show up for our family's sake, not just our sake, but our families and for the whole world. And because as we thrive, so the whole world and everyone around us thrives. So with that, Sunil, we thank you so much, sir, that you are just a blessing and you have inspired us all in order to help us become our greatest possibility and to have more wealth and abundance. So this is Dr. Hank saying, wishing all of you just the best and knowing that when you show up in life, that life's going to show up for you and you're going to see that this life could be a joyous, abundant life. And from Agent Wealth Network and me, Dr. Hank, I wish you all the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.